I would shoplift and break windows, not because I was trying to be a problem or a troublemaker. It was the only way I could really exert that energy and tell people that I was hurting, I was in pain. I didn't know at the time how to kind of articulate that.
When they come to us, a lot of them in a place of anxiety, fight, flight, freeze response mode. They are, anxious.
You have young people who repress their emotions, which then causes long-term developmental implications in them.
Young kids have so much energy, like they can't burn energy on the iPad.
You've got a large amount of professionals involved in their lives already, and people introducing themselves only to disappear the next week. You're already overwhelmed.
There is a mistrust of people, and there's a mistrust of organizations because many of them have been let down.
It's very difficult to sit in a room and just talk about something that's bothering you, especially a young kid.
If you offer short-term support, then what you're effectively doing is putting a plaster on a massive wound and then saying to them, go on, go forward. In 6 sessions, you can't build trust. You can't build rapport in 6 sessions. It's almost as if they've gone there to just sort of tick a box and then leave.
If I never had that type of settings in my life, I don't know where my life would have led to. I would have been stuck in my own head, and it could be a very dark place. So it's an open space where we let them train, let a bit loose, they're a bit calm, a bit relaxed, and then we sit down and we have our little therapy moment as well.
Sporting Souls is a intervention project that combines an element of sport or movement and wellness and group therapy and mentoring, wherein you are able to physically develop yourself and also mentally develop yourself.
We begin with discussion. We talk about subjects that impact young people, and we provide the platform for them to have these discussions.
When young people come in, they're very quiet, and you know from that silence that these young people have had a difficult time. But that's what we do. We give people that confidence to open up. And at the end of the session, we can't shut these boys up. They're talking and talking and talking, and that's when you know it works.
But if you've not relaxed and loosened up, it's very difficult for you to have a sensitive conversation. But like with Sporting Soul style, where you train them, they're laughing with their friends, and eventually these kids open up.
Where we've already said to you, look, you've come in, you've learned how to escape a wrist lock. So clearly you can learn and clearly you can change in a positive manner.
The most important thing to get right is to set the right environment, an environment that the child feels secure, they feel safe to be able to express themselves. It's to help children to realize that they're not alone, and also what has happened is not their fault.
First of all, the trust is very important. So if you build an environment, a setting where they feel that they can trust the people that are there, then they will talk. Not one of them went out of place. Everyone was calm. So I said, if you can control yourself, like, why can't you do it outside?
One of them had come out and said they enjoyed the talking part more, and to see the other boys in the room nod their heads in agreement, quite significant.
And once we start conversation and they get to know us each week, what you'll find is slowly those barriers start coming down. And once the barriers come down, then the work becomes more effective. They're able to trust the process. You can see the difference in the children because children are able to come out of their shells. They're able to forge relationships with other children. They're able to initiate relationships with other children.
I think when the young people that I'm working with begin to start asking questions and be curious, that to me is progress, because we are talking about positive change. It's having that courage to want to go back to living life rather than necessarily surviving life.
When someone believes in you, it gives you the power to believe in yourself. And I believed in myself when I was surrounded by good people.
I'm not there to lecture. I'm there to build them up and I'm there to upskill them. But most importantly, I'm there to make them feel safe, and I'm there to make them safe in the future.